Welcome to Conversations with Lauren and Ali, where we bridge all things in the spiritual and human experience.
This is a space where raw honesty meets higher truth, where personal stories open doors to deeper self-awareness, and where the messy, magical journey of being human is honoured as a sacred path of awakening. So, take a breath, get cozy, and join us in today's conversation.
Feels like it's been a big week. Well, it has here physically
I was going to say
oh
physically, I think, and also energetically,
yeah,
energetically as well, and not in a bad way, just in a way of feeling. I felt the shift. I don't know, the new moon energies. I'm not really sure that I have any
yeah,
kind of word for that, but
mm,
I could feel that coming
yeah,
in. There was like this sort of wave.
yeah,
Of, I guess, that Pisces energy as well came
yeah,
through.
yeah. So I haven't even had, like, you're talking about new moon energy and stuff. I haven't even really had time to stop and think about, like, I was coming in this morning going, I don't know what I'm going to talk to Ali about, because
Mm,
my life this week has just been consumed with this physical
mm.
stuff. And I haven't even really stopped to think why I might be feeling a certain way, or because I just haven't had time. But I need
Well,
to say, sorry, you go.
no, I was just going to say, I also feel like there's something coming in around this for me too, where it's like less delineation between this is the energy and this is how it's feeling versus this is my human physical experience. And how can we start to bridge that a little bit more and just merge the two?
Yeah,
And I don't quite have the words for it yet, but something came to me yesterday where it was like, well, this is an opportunity to be both the human and divine again in a slightly new way. And
yeah,
just when you were talking then, I was sort of in the back of my mind saying, yeah, why did I ping on the new moon, but I didn't necessarily sit with it or dive into it. And
no,
it's like you didn't need to know, you just needed to know that there were things that were happening
yes. Like, there's an
that,
awareness there.
yeah, that might be creating that.
Yeah,
And I don't yet, as I said, have the words on how to frame that or articulate this, but I can feel like we're moving into this deeper bridging of that divine and
yeah.
human element,
Mm-hmm.
um, of being aware of both sides of the fence, but somehow merging them together. I don't know if that makes any
Yeah, no,
sense.
it totally does. And even what I was just talking about with, oh, I haven't really had time to think about anything. I've
Yeah.
been just doing my thing. I've just been living and
Mhm.
having my human experience. When you were speaking then, I was like, going through the human experience and going through something like that's a big deal for a couple of days, where your
Mm.
house is turned upside down, your routine's thrown out, you can't do this, you can't do that, your days are longer and later and all of that stuff while you're getting it done, is that chance to practice and put into place all of that wisdom and all of those tools that we have and the things that we know about. Okay, let's just be present and take one moment at a time. If I'm starting to feel overwhelmed or anxious, you just sort of pull yourself up and go, okay, hang on, stop. I've always got Les in my ear going, it's not a big deal, Lauren. It's like
Mm.
some things that I find overwhelming, he'll really ground me and go, it's not a big deal. Like, we'll deal with it. We'll deal
Mhm.
with it later. I don't get
Mhm.
stressed about that stuff. And I'm like, well, I do, but thank you for bringing me back. And then there's other things that he'll get stressed about. But do you know what I
Mm.
mean? It's like
Yeah. Mhm.
simple things like living your life and not letting yourself get like spiral off out of control into a meltdown because, if something feels out of your control in that moment.
Absolutely. And that's a great example of how can you bring your wisdom, your divinity or your light or your presence, whatever you're
Presence,
connecting
yeah.
with it as, but bring it into the moment
Yeah.
because we do kind of go out to the extremes,
Yes.
don't we? Like,
Uh-huh.
I mean, I know this, I've witnessed this with myself and I can feel where I'm learning to balance and bridge that. It's like
Hmm.
I don't have to be all human or all spiritual or divine. um, and these opportunities and experiences to see where the magic crosses over and how we can embody that
Yes. Yeah.
and live that from an embodied place.
Yeah. Hmm.
Mm,
And it doesn't even feel like you're making an effort to me anyway. If I look
no.
at this week and the last couple of days, it doesn't even feel like you're really making an effort to embody anything. It's just happening. You're just
Yes.
doing it. And it's not until you stop now in a conversation like this and you look at it and you go, oh, okay, I have actually, and that's what this is all about, isn't it?
Mm.
Like the
Mhm.
human experience and just living as a human, but bring all those little things in. Even like the example I gave before of usually I would always get up on a Friday morning and go to the gym at 7 o'clock. The whole family this morning when I woke up and Liz said, "Are you coming?" And I said, "No, I'm not actually, because I'm learning." And I try to keep telling him that I have, I'm a 42-year-old woman now, and I have learned that I need to listen to my body. I don't push
Mhm.
myself beyond limits when I don't have to anymore.
Mhm.
I've had a big couple of days where I have felt a little overwhelmed. My nervous system needs to just,
Yeah.
my nervous system's been a bit stretched the last couple of days. Today, I need to just rest. It's not a good idea for me. I
Mhm.
recognize, without making a big deal out of it, that going to the gym and putting myself through a stressful workout, which I
Mhm.
love, but
Yeah.
it's, I think it was just like it was an easy, like, no, I'm not going. I'm not
Mhm.
making myself go because it's not going to help the way it's not going to help me right now. I'm just going to sit this one out and yeah. And it was just an instant knowing when I woke
Yeah.
up, no, not going. Yeah.
And what growth is that? Because
Yeah.
I know a Lauren that would have just gone anyway.
Dragged her ass there and just, yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
that, yeah, I think that's a great example. A great example. And it's interesting too because so much lately, but yesterday particularly, I was having a lot of strong messages coming in about like it's time, you're ready, and not just for me, just in collectively. It's
Yeah.
like it's time to step into this, to rise into this power and authority and
Hmm.
presence within. And we think it has to be
Yeah.
something like huge or massive or something that
Hmm.
really puts us sort of out.
Yes.
The example was that I was called to do an Instagram live, and
Yeah.
so I was trying to say on the call that it's like you don't necessarily have to get on an Instagram live, but it's how can you bring that in to day into whatever you're doing. And I
Hmm.
can feel that what you're sharing is like beautiful examples of how you just step into that by
Yes.
choosing yourself and listening to
Hmm.
yourself and
Yep. Hmm.
moving through those experiences with
Yep.
more ease or grace or wisdom, knowledge,
Yep.
presence, whatever you know it is.
Yes. Just that knowing, just having that knowing
Mm,
and acting on that, acting in accordance to that, and in
yeah.
alignment with that knowing, not trying to push either way or, like you going on a live. Like I know I know what it feels like, and especially doing it on your own as well when
Yeah.
you're not doing it with someone else, it's daunting. So I'm proud of
Mhm.
you for doing that. Well
Thank you.
done. And when you get that nudge, you're like, yep, just do it. I'm going to do it. Like you said, you just stepping into it.
And I think part of it is what I'm getting right now is not necessarily the nudge isn't necessarily going to be something like doing an Instagram live because
Yeah.
it could be just as you said, like, oh, I know I'm not to go to the gym today,
Yeah.
like I know I need to break my normal routine.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the key is it's just listening to that part of us that is going to help
Hmm.
us navigate. Because what if you'd gone to the gym and what if you'd pushed yourself past your limits or you felt that today or there was a flow on effect through your day, whereas now
Yeah.
you might have had an opportunity to reset
Yeah.
and move more into the flow of the day. And even though,
Yeah.
yes, it's big, still moving furniture and putting things where they need to be,
Hmm.
but it will be interesting to see if it feels different than maybe it had yesterday or the day before,
Yeah.
uh, 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 just in listening to what you needed to help you move with the most ease in this.
Yes. And I think the same goes with the example that you just gave, that Instagram live. If you didn't because I also know an Ally that would have shied away and gone,
Yes.
oh no, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, I feel like I should or I want to. Part of me wants to, but I'm not going to because it's daunting or,
Hmm.
whatever. But
Hmm.
you did. And so that's like the way I'm seeing it. So that's like another sort of another step forward. It's another expansion, whereas you could have recoiled, not done it, and had to go through that again, another opportunity
Hmm.
is going to present and you have yeah.
And that's the key too, is that what I hear anyway is the nudge isn't going to go away. Like the opportunity is
Yeah.
going to continue to present itself
Yes.
in whatever form that is.
That's what I was trying to say. Yeah.
Yeah, continue to present itself until we say yes.
Yeah.
And I am learning to say yes more to these
Yes.
opportunities, and I'm going to call them opportunities because, of
Yeah.
course, they stretch us outside our comfort zone. It could be your situation with what you're doing very
Yeah.
physically right now, or in my case, an Instagram live.
Yeah.
But either case, we're being stretched
Yeah.
beyond our comfort zone.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we're leaning in and saying yes to that and allowing that opportunity to show us what we need to see. I feel
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's coming from within here.
Hmm.
It's like it's a new level of trust because we've already embodied whatever we needed to
Hmm.
embody to hold that wisdom and to clearly hear that knowing, that inner knowing.
And it was so interesting because this came forward during the live, was a realization for me, and I was able to reflect it in the moment to the beautiful souls that were on the live. Is that it takes courage, doesn't it? It takes courage, doesn't matter what it is, but it's courage to step in and say yes, it's courage to lean into that opportunity. And some of us need to do that to show what that looks like.
Yeah.
And it was like I was recognizing where if I hadn't have said yes to this, I wouldn't have had the opportunity to share that message.
Yes.
And for people who this was resonating with,
Yep.
in my example, that was resonating with, and it was like, yes, we get that. Yes, we like they
Mm.
needed to see someone doing that so that
Yeah.
they could find
Yeah.
the courage within them maybe to do it for
Yes.
themselves.
Yeah.
So it's like witnessing how powerful it is by being in that truth or authenticity in
Mm.
our presence and saying yes, not just for us, but
Yeah.
for the ripple, the flow on,
Yep.
and
Hmm.
the I
Yeah.
don't know, is it the witness of others to allow them to feel that empowerment? Because who are
Yeah.
we if we are not, and I'm saying you and I because of we know the roles that we have or the templates that we hold with this. So of course we have to go first with some of this, don't we? Or
Yeah.
walk the talk. Maybe
Yeah.
that's a better
Walk the
way of
talk.
framing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was really interesting, because I can see where I've looked to people who have inspired me to do the things or have given me this opportunity to say
Mm.
yes. And
Hmm.
so now it's like, oh, okay, well, it's my turn to do that
Yeah.
or it's my turn to
Yeah.
step into that piece of the tapestry I see it more like a weaving, like a cobwebby type weaving.
Mm.
And then the next layer will do that for whoever they need to do that for, and it will continue
Yeah.
to go and flow through.
Yep.
Um,
A
and I,
courage is a massive one right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I say all of that very humbly as well because I'm not saying this in I don't know if this is just my ego
Yeah, you
wanting
don't
me
need
to
to, I'm
say
hearing
it out loud.
you don't need to say this. You don't need to fucking explain yourself to anyone because you're not coming across that way at all.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny because I could just feel that little voice in there. Be humble.
No, because you know what? You just spoke about courage, and that's what's standing out right
Yeah,
now is
yeah.
courage. And courage, like I love feeling courage and I
Mm-hmm.
love witnessing courage.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's so expansive when you step into something bravely and boldly and courageously. Like it's so expansive, isn't it? Because it's fucking hard. And it's like it's the
Mm-hmm.
other end of fear, isn't it? You've got fear and then you've got courage. It's
Mm-hmm.
so expansive and exactly what you just said. Other people your message might have been nothing to do with courage or being brave or speaking your truth or whatever. But people would have felt it exactly what you said. So it's expansive personally, but it's also felt so much. No matter what the message is, you feel that frequency of courage, and people are going to
Yeah.
witness you like that, and then it's going to inspire them. They take on that frequency, and then it helps them to step into whatever it is that they need the courage. And I've been noticing particularly women on social media lately, even new people popping up on my
Hmm.
feed, and I'm like, fuck yeah, like look at
Yeah.
her courage, look how bold
Mm.
she is. I fucking love it.
Mm.
I love it, and it's inspiring.
And I think this is the time of bringing the voice forward, isn't it? Like
Yeah,
I feel like the empowered voice coming into this as well as the feminine too. I mean, I'm
yeah,
not limiting this to the feminine because I
no,
think
yeah,
that we all are in like this space, but there is definitely a shift I've noticed,
yeah,
particularly even just in this last week with
yeah,
the
yes,
feminine too.
uh-huh, yeah,
But I think the courage piece is huge because it might be just the courage to connect with other people, isn't
yeah,
it? Like, because a
yeah,
lot of us have done this solo and
yeah.
um like it can be
Oh, yeah.
uncomfortable to
Yeah.
step into community or
Hmm.
into group spaces. Just even connecting with community the
Yeah.
physical.
Any
I'm not,
facet of your
yeah, any
life. Yeah.
facet. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think some of that is like reaching out and actually stepping into spaces, isn't it? To
Mhm.
like bringing yourself in or just saying hello to someone on the street, because
Yeah.
that can
Yeah.
be sometimes challenging.
Yeah.
Or to engage in a conversation with someone, in the supermarket or whatever it is. I just feel like there's so many different ways
Yeah.
in which it's bridging that connection point by
Yeah.
being courageous,
Yeah. Yeah.
to
And
step
everyone's
out.
it's individual. It's very individual. What
Mm,
I find where I need to dig deep and find courage to do something would is probably completely, I'm sure we have things the same, but there would be things that we have that are completely different.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And it can
Yeah.
be the tiniest of little things.
Hmm.
Like you said,
Hmm.
smiling at someone or saying hello to someone. That might be completely daunting to
Hmm.
someone,
Hmm.
but not to me. Or it's going to be
Yeah.
deeply personal. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's like important to highlight because we're all different and we're all unique and we all need to start somewhere. And so it can be as small as that. Or I'm working with quite a few women at the moment who have really come to a crossroads of it of and have made it's funny because I can see in my own life too where I've met this point, but where you know what the decision is,
Mm.
but it's a difficult decision because it's far more comfortable to stay in
Yeah.
maybe the role, the identity, the job, whatever it is where you've
Hmm.
been. And now there's this opportunity to actually choose the soul, choose the heart, choose the
Hmm.
path that, is way more aligned,
Yeah.
not because of what we should be doing or any of those things. But that, of course, we've been having lots of conversations about. Of course, that takes a lot of courage
Yeah.
because you're stepping out of multiple
Yeah.
things there,
Yeah.
identity, the
Comfort zones.
expectation, comfort,
Mm.
all of those things. But I think this is where a lot of us are coming to as well. It is time to make those decisions that really are what we feel like we want to do, or the thing that we've been putting off doing, or that we've been,
Mm.
oh, I would love to do that one day. I'll do it when this happens, or I need more information before I can do that. Like
Yeah.
we put out all of the
Yeah.
excuses. And what I have the seraphim coming in hot at the moment with is like, no, do it. It's time.
Yeah.
Just do it now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because we are also like I said this on the live as well. It was almost like proving to myself that I could do it.
Yeah.
It was just doing something
Hmm.
that I knew I could do, like
Yeah.
logically, because I've done it before.
Yeah.
We've done lives.
Yeah.
I've done lives years ago on my own, but it was like in that moment, I just needed to show up and say to myself, yeah, remember, you can do it. Remember, you've
Yeah.
done this before. Remember,
Yep.
you've got this.
Yep.
Um,
And you've moved through that threshold now and it's done. And
yeah,
you'll do it again much more easily next time.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's such a beautiful empowerment journey, I feel
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. I mean, I probably bore people because I say this all the time, but this is the empowerment comes when we take the action based on what we have received or worked with, healed,
Hmm.
activated, whatever you want to call it. But
Yeah.
until we put that into that lived
Yeah.
action, we don't
Yep.
really fully receive it.
No, you don't feel that
Yeah,
empowerment. You don't feel how it feels in your body. And yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, you can know it. It's one thing to know it, but you got to feel it. And that comes from
Hmm.
taking the action. Yeah.
And because, obviously the year of the snake in 2025, we've all done heaps of
Oh,
shedding
for God's sake, I'm
and
over that year. Yeah.
yeah, we've done all the things. And now I understand why the energy for me was coming into 2026 of taking that into lived action and
Yeah.
really embodying it was
Hmm.
because yeah, you've done all of that, but now
Hmm.
you've got to actually put one foot after the other, like put 2 feet on the ground, one foot
Yeah.
after the other, and start to bring that into the lived experience
Hmm.
to embody it, but to
Hmm.
be empowered in that embodiment. And I think that's such an interesting piece of really seeing even more, as we've said, maybe quantum embodiment. So I feel like when I say embodiment, it's a lot deeper
Yeah.
than that. But
Yeah. And
mm,
we foresaw this last year. We knew at some level what was happening last year, and that we spoke a lot about embodiment and quantum embodiment and descending back into the body.
yes,
And like we knew it was happening, but it feels like now
mm,
we're actually starting to really see it and feel it and move with it. Like you said, taking
hmm,
action
hmm.
where you're actually seeing it playing out and recognizing, oh, okay, yeah, I'm doing this. Mm.
And as we all continue to do this, we inspire each other, we
Yeah,
motivate each other,
everyone's witnessing each
we
other.
witness it. And of
Yeah,
course, then we're also creating that collective field, aren't we?
yeah,
And so the other piece about this is learning how to stabilize our living light and our architecture, both in the divinity and the physicality,
yeah,
and how that is where we start to see the new earth start to form because
yeah,
we are the initial pillar. And then as we,
yeah,
you know, do that together and bridge that and stabilize that, we can start to create from this place on a collective level.
yeah,
So it's funny too, because I feel like, and I know we've talked about this many times where, what am I supposed to be doing? How does that look, practically? But it really does begin just by first doing that inner work, being in your
mm,
presence, and
mm,
then embodying that presence. And the rest of the stuff will come along the way. But
yeah,
it feels like that's the key, like, and the key foundation, maybe,
yeah,
of why we are all here. Because when you said to me a few weeks ago to grow where you're planted, I think was the
yeah,
phrase that's
yeah,
really stuck with me. And that's
yeah,
what's been coming in this last week. It's like stand on those 2 feet and
uh-huh,
grow here, like plant here.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's like feeling that coming back, but it's coming back because I'm in a different place than when, you
yeah,
shared that with for
yeah,
me. A very different place now, but it still applies. And it's like, oh yeah, okay, all right. And yesterday that looked like getting on an Instagram live, and today it might look differently.
yeah,
But it's just
yeah.
meeting that and saying yes. I don't know. I feel like I'm saying the same thing
No,
repetitively, but
you're
it's
not.
it's
Yeah,
just coming in very strongly. Right,
yeah,
and at this particular time.
yeah, and feeling like you have kind of, grow where you planted. You have sort of you've created the foundations, trust that you've created the foundations and you are ready to take that action from that
Mhm.
place where you are right now.
Mm.
Yeah.
And that can be easeful. So I feel like I need to take a deep breath. It's like, yeah, and it can be easeful.
Mm.
It
Yeah.
can be easeful. And the stimulation of the nervous system, the stimulation of the anticipation, the stimulation of the edges of the comfort zone. There's a beautiful tempering that I'm feeling at the moment of the inner child or the divine child that's really also empowering us in that.
Mm.
And I
Mm.
feel like there's an invitation to check in, to tune in, because sometimes we misinterpret that response as just fear. Whereas I've been this week noticing, even just like personally, how my inner child or that divine child aspect has been so excited to do this have this physical
Yeah.
experience, but be in the magic of it and be in a bit more of that choose your own adventure energy. And I have felt the anticipation or the butterflies, but it's been interesting to witness the subtle difference between what might be pure fear, or
Yeah.
if that makes sense. I just feel like it's important for us to start to discern.
Just discern. I was
Yeah.
discernment popped up earlier for me, but I didn't say it. Yeah, discernment.
To
Yeah.
discern that and feel into that, because just because something feels like there was this jittery kind of energy about going on a live, and it was like bubbling around in me all day before I actually was able
Yeah.
to do
It's
it.
like a
But
nervousness, but it's excitement
but it was
and
excitement.
yeah.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
anticipatory. It
Yeah.
wasn't like
Fear.
fear. It wasn't
Yeah.
like, oh no, this is a no. This is a
Yeah.
no. It was like a yes. And it was like, oh my gosh, what's this going to
Yeah.
be like?
Yeah.
So I think sometimes just like the fine tuning of our discernment around what's a yes and what's a no and what we're feeling, and can we lean into like bring that divine child aspect,
Yes.
which I know you've been doing a lot of work with, and that's why I feel like I want to say it here too, because it feels like
Mm.
that's more available to us now.
Yes. And it's so funny that you said that because I've really felt my inner child the last week as well, really speaking to me around, some of the work and the stuff that I want to start sharing with
Yeah.
people and stuff that I'm kind of working on creating. And for me, it's kind of hard to put into words, but I've had these particular aspects of my inner child sort of come forward and remind me of things that were said to me, take me back to certain
Mm,
memories, which is linked to what I'm doing now and my journey and everything here into the work that I'm doing and stuff. And almost like almost like she's saying to me, do you see? Do you remember this like there's one particular conversation that's in my head. Do you remember this conversation? Do you remember how you knew right back then when you were 7 or 8 or however old I was? Do you remember that you discerned then that what was said to you really never resonated as truth to you?
mm,
And she's like saying, now you see that you were right. So it's
mm.
almost as if she's saying, trust me. Like you need to know
Yes.
that
Mm,
the inner child is so wise. Even when we're so little, we are so wise. And we have that fucking innate discernment built in. And even when someone who's an adult who said something to me that really felt off, that has stuck with me my whole life and is connected to the work that I do now, she's saying to me, remember, you've got that
mm,
natural discernment there. You were right, what you felt. That is your truth. You're living that truth now. So, remember, I'm here as that point of um, discernment, if you like. Does that make
mhm.
sense?
It does. I love that. I love that. How
Mm.
powerful is that?
Yeah.
Because you had it all along. You
Yeah.
have it. It's, yeah.
And it was something that could have really rocked me and programmed me.
Mm,
But I had, and it relates, like I said, like it's religious program. Well,
mm,
it was an
mm-hmm,
attempt at religious programming, let's
mm-hmm,
put it that way.
mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, that could have really rocked me, but at some level, I remember being taken aback by the comment. And yeah, and I can remember where the conversation was, who said it, who was
Wow.
there. I can remember and it was literally like one sentence, and it could have really thrown me off guard, and it might have contributed somewhere along the line to what I had to move through to step into
Mm,
the work that I do now. But at some point, at some level, I always knew that that doesn't resonate with me. Yeah.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Mm, yeah.
And it's trusting in that, isn't it? Too,
That's what
coming
this is
back.
about.
Yeah, coming
Trust the
back
inner
to the
child.
trust. Mm,
Remember that you've got that inbuilt in
mm,
before you went through all your life
mm-hmm.
shit that's changed your perceptions and beliefs and everything. You already knew, and that
Yeah.
part of me is still there. Like we all have our inner child that's,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And I hear that as the innocence, isn't it? It's
yeah,
returning to the innocence,
yeah.
the pure innocence, the
The
divine
pure,
innocence.
the
Yeah.
divinity. Yeah. Mm,
Mm-hmm. And that's definitely shifting, I think, for
yeah,
a lot of people. And that's a beautiful example too of where meeting yourself and just witnessing that.
yeah,
And I know you did something, or you are doing something with working with the divine child, aren't
yeah.
you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't done it yet, but it's in the
Okay.
works. That's all right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in the works. Yeah.
No, 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 because I feel like that is,
It's an aspect of it that, yeah.
yeah, and I
Yeah,
can
you're
feel it's
right.
coming forward. I don't know. I think it just wants me
Mm,
to bring it here to make
yes.
to kind of nudge you to
Yes.
bring
I just
that
got the
forward.
ping. Maybe I had to like experience that first or whatever
Yeah,
before
yeah, yeah,
I,
yeah.
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 But
Yeah.
I think there's maybe there'll be someone that listens to this that will um,
Yeah.
feel aligned to receive that support anyway. I'm not sure. That's just what
Yeah.
what was coming through.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's such a powerful time.
Really is, isn't it?
And I think it's because we are remembering our
Hmm.
power more and more and more. And we are just remembering ourselves more and more and more.
Yeah. You can't
And
stop it now. It's just
no.
like, it's just, it's happening and you're seeing everybody. I love seeing everybody just running with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so
Mm-hmm.
good. Even if they don't realize that that's what's happening, you can just
Mm.
see it. You can just
Mm-hmm.
see it. And it's fucking great. I love
It's
it.
exciting. It's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah.
It feels like watching the waves roll in. It's
Yeah.
that analogy is what's coming forward. It's just watching
Mm.
the waves of people
Mm.
remembering coming in
Yeah.
more and more and more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for
So,
joining us in this space of truth, reflection, and connection. If today's conversation stirred something within you, we invite you to sit with it, journal on it, or share it with someone who walks the path of self-awareness too.
these conversations are living transmissions, and we are so grateful to be on this journey with you. Until next time, remember your human experience is sacred and you are never walking alone.
With love, Lauren.
And Ali.